Hey, it's BT with the BT Motogp-Cota GP. I'm gonna call it the Cota Voodoo GP because, man, those guys are crashing and didn't have any reason why. You know why? Voodoo. Anyway, let's start off. First of all, if you've never been to Cota, that's why it's just coming in late. If you've never been to Cota, Cota's great. It's worth it. Beautiful track, nice people, great off track. Austin's a great city, great food, great music, great lively atmosphere, but it's tiring. The whole weekend is tiring, but it's a good tiring and it's a worth it tiring. Kind of like when you have sex with a girl and she goes, ow, and you go, does it hurt? She goes, yeah, but it's a good hurt. You go, damn girl, you nasty. Anyway, let's get right to it. Moto 3, ride of the race goes to Ivan Artola. Oh my, where did this kid come from? And he goes deeper than that because he's with the Angeles team, which is the all-woman team. Well, I saw a dude in that team, but so it was like 98%. But still, they got a guy rider, which is weird because it's an all-woman team, but they got a guy rider. And you got Anna Carrasco, who's the only woman on that team, and she's the racer, but the rest of the team is men. So they have to look at each other all weird. You know, kind of like if you're a Malcolm X, but you had like a white girlfriend, and everybody be like, what? That's what it was like. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. Anyway, the ride of the race goes to Ivan Artola. Great race. When he racked himself in turn 2, and every man in the stands went, aye. And even his all-woman team was like, aye, I think. No lo sé. Anyway, great job, Artola. Heartbreak goes to Sasaki. That's 2 races in a row where he's high-sided. Let me tell you something. Pretty soon, the veterans in Moto 3, which is weird to say, but the veterans in Moto 3, like Sasaki, Masia, Migno to a point, Fanati, they're becoming the old babies. Nobody likes an old baby. An old baby is like, you know, like you get a 2-year-old, everybody loves him, and then the mom has another kid, and they go, fuck out of here, old baby. Like, you know, nobody really likes that baby anymore. They're more concerned with the infant. They're becoming the old baby, you know, kind of like a baby-faced spinster. Anyway, so Sasaki has to get it done, and he is the heartbreak because he was looking good. I thought he was going to get a podium at least, but hey, that's part of that Cota voodoo that I was talking about. He was doing well, and all of a sudden, bam, voodoo. Anyway, heartbreak goes to Sasaki. Ride of the race goes to Ivan Artola. Moto 2, listen, hear me out before you get mad. Ride of the race in Moto 2 goes to Big Bo Ben Schneider. His grandfather died 2 days before. He's racing with a heavy heart. He was at 14th at one point, ended up getting a podium. Big Bo deserves that ride of the race. Heartbreak goes to Jake Dixon. Jake Dixon crashed on the siding lap. That's like having premature ejaculation before you even get your clothes off. You're like, oh, and the girl goes, what happened? You go, oh, yeah, you ain't gonna believe this. And she goes, are you serious? And you go, That's what that was like. I mean, again, what happened there? Voodoo. I mean, that's what it was. I feel sorry for Jake. He's a new dad. I really thought he was going to do well, and he crashed. And judging by his reaction, again, that was voodoo. And I don't know what happened. Even he don't know what happened. But like I said, that's what it was about. And it was kind of disappointing before the race even starts. He premature ejaculated, and it was it for him. So that was a heartbreak for him. And nomination runner for heartbreak was Barry Baltus. Barry Baltus is gonna, I think when he get to Europe, he's gonna make his presence felt. He had a great weekend, and all the races he's raced have been on tracks that aren't really European tracks. When he goes to tracks he's familiar with, watch for Barry Baltus coming up from the pack being like a wild card. Watch out for him for the rest of the year. But Pedro Acosta and Tony Arbolino, Motogp is going to be great for at least the next 8 to 10 years because, listen, I think Marquez has another good 4 years left in him. That depends on how he wants to ride, and barring injury, I still think Marquez has a lot to give and a lot to want to give. And Pedro Acosta is going to be the second coming of Marquez, just the way he rides, that look in his eye. But what Tony Arbolino did, and I don't know if you guys watched right before he went on the podium, they asked him, he goes, it's not over yet. And I was like, I mean, he said it with a smile on his face. He goes, it's not over yet. So you can tell by the way he hugged Pedro Acosta that that's going to be a rivalry. And that's great for MotoGP, bodes well for MotoGP. The Italians are back. The Spanish have another brilliant rider in Pedro Acosta. This shit is getting good, like potato salad at the picnic that your grandma made from scratch. Yeah, I said that. But yeah, ride of the race, Moto 2 goes to Big Bo, Ben Schneider, damn Bo. And let me tell you something, Pedro Acosta, what Pedro's only 18, and his rider craft, the way he he was on Arbolino like this. He's like that old creeper at the club, the young girls, and she turns around like, can I buy you a drink? Like, hey, could you leave me alone, please? I just want to buy you a drink. Like, oh, Jesus. That's what he was like to Tony Arbolino. Great job by Pedro Acosta and Tony Arbolino, both of them. When they get to Europe, it's gonna be so much great racing. But Pedro Acosta, I'm gonna say right now, he's my MVP of the weekend. Just his racecraft, the way he waited. He said he waited for the tires to drop off. He waited for the fuel to lighten the load, and then that's when he made his move on the last lap. That is just 18-year-old brilliance. Damn, 18 years old. I'm home now in Oklahoma. When I was 18, I was going to the prom this weekend. And let me tell you something. I wasn't thinking about my fuel dropping off, if you know what I mean. Props to him. Like I said, MotoGP is in great hands for the next 10 years at least, especially with the boys coming up from Moto3, except for the old babies. The old babies have to come through. Let's get to MotoGP. MotoGP, let me tell you something, man. I'll say it right now. This sounds so cliche, but Rider of the Race goes to Alex Rins. What Rins did on that LCR Honda, that LCR Honda hadn't won a race since 2016. That's basically been a cow disguised as a race bike. And let's be honest, man, no one has done anything with that LCR since Cal Crutchlow, but Rins somehow made a victory out of that. And again, heartbreak goes to Pecco. And why did Pecco crash? Voodoo. That's what it was. It was voodoo. He didn't know why he crashed. He was looking good, but I'll tell you why. I'm gonna go on a limb and say he crashed because of Alex Rins putting that pressure on his ass, and maybe he rode a little bit faster than he wanted to, or he said he didn't. He said he was doing everything normal, and he just went offline a little bit. And Jack Miller said it best. Jack Miller said he went offline about as much as a bumblebee's dick, a honeybee's dick. That's what he said. A honeybee's penis. I mean, how big is that? Exactly. But why did he crash? Voodoo. Pecco's my heartbreak. Rider of the Race goes to Alex Rins. Man, great job. And I talked to Simon Crafar, and he says Alex Rins is the only rider that what you see from here, what you hear from him, is what it is. I mean, he doesn't try to mask anything. He's the same person. He doesn't lie. That's my mom's kitchen, by the way. I'm trying to get away. It's so dirty, but it's my fault. Anyway, he doesn't lie. Everything is what you hear Alex Rins say. That's the truth. He's not masking anything. And all the riders are like, "Hey, man, don't tell everything." And Alex is like, "Why not tell everything? I have nothing to hide." And you gotta wonder if it kind of hits at Marc Marquez's craw in the sense of he's a Honda rider and he won a race. He's the only one that's won a race since Marquez. So you kind of gotta wonder, does it hit Marquez in the nether regions as far as the heart goes? And if you think about it, Rins is 2-0 against Marquez in head-to-head battles the last couple years. He's 2-0, so it's got to hit Mark a little bit. So that Honda garage might be a little prickly come Jerez. So anyway, the most embarrassing moment of the weekend had to go to Fabio Quartararo when Luca Marini blasted by him. When Fabio was like, "I'm gonna need a bigger boat." And that's what it was, man. I mean, you don't pass somebody like that in MotoGP. Luca came out of the turn slower than Fabio, behind Fabio by at least 2 or 3 bike lengths. And the way he sucked him up, I mean, Fabio had to be like, "Really? Really, guys? Really? That's what I'm dealing with? Really, guys? Really?" I mean, it was almost, and that was the most embarrassing moment of the weekend for me. Poor Fabio. But Fabio rode the wheels off of that Yamaha. Props to that dude, man. I mean that from the bottom. Sorry that the camera's moving. But props to Fabio for riding the wheels off that bike. Great job by Fabio. Props to Luca Marini for getting his first podium. Luca had that big dick energy that he wasn't really trying to act like he did, but he did. The way he sat at the podium and the way he talked, it wasn't cocky. It was just a little quiet confidence. You know how the USA has like short man syndrome, like USA, USA. But the happiest country is actually Finland, and Finland's like, yeah, we're happy. And what else? And we're smart, but we don't have to brag about it. We just know how good we are. That's how Luca was sitting, like, yeah, I was happy. I won. Probably more podiums, but yeah, I'm just having a good time. And women are like, "Damn, Luca." And Luca's like, "I know." Anyway, watch out for Luca the rest of the year. I asked him a question. Did he think he was in title contention? He goes, "No," because he had a big fat donut in Portimao. And I'm like, whatever, Luca. Watch out them Mooney boys. Luca and Bezzecchi, who still leads the championship. Bezzecchi still leads the championship. Watch out for it. And they're going on to Europe now. That's what I want to get to. They're going to Europe, all the tracks they know. And now that's when the championship is going to get juicy because they all know those tracks. And the two big dogs are coming back. Marquez and the Beast are coming back. That sounds like a movie. Marquez and the Beast. Rated R, under 17, not a bit of parent or guardian. Marquez and the Beast. But that's what it's going to be, Marquez and the Beast. They're going to be hungry and they want to eat. And the big dogs got to eat. So it's going to get great come Jerez. From the rest of the year on, in the European tracks, Jerez, Le Mans, it's going to get great, man. I mean, big dogs got to eat, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to get juicy. What else I want to say? About the GP, well, I say GP Cota Voodoo, only 14 riders finished that race out of 22. And no one really had an explanation. So, and props to who's not getting his prize, Augusto Fernandez. He is kicking ass. Granted, he's the only rookie, but he's kicking ass. He got points, and I think he's gotten points in all the races, I think. But good job on him. And then in Moto 2 also, like I said, watch out for Barry Baltus and watch out for Agura. Agura, when he gets well, when he gets healthy, ooh, Agura. Like I said, Barry Baltus. Watch out for them when they get to Europe. It's going to get good, folks. Yeah. And like I said, Moto 3, the old babies have to step up between, like I said, Sasaki, Jamie Masia, Anshu, Denis Anshu, Gesundheit. Anshu has to step up. That was stupid. Anshu has to step up also. He's getting old too. He's an old baby. And this is his year. This is it for him. If you've seen him, he even looks older. Like his Adam's, he's got an Adam's apple now. It's like, hey, Denny, how you doing? I'm doing good, bro. How you doing? Like, God damn, Denny. He's getting older too, so he's going to have to produce. MotoGP is going to get great, even greater come the European round. So yeah, that's it. I give the Cota, the actual racing. Moto 3 and Moto 2 stole the show for the actual race. And like I said, MVP goes to Pedro Acosta. What that kid is doing, damn. And I do mean damn. So watch out for Pedro Acosta come European rounds. He and Tony Arbolino are going to wage great battles, but watch out for Agura. So anyway, that's my review. I know it went long, but man, I really want to talk. I got nobody to talk to about GP, so you guys are my guinea pigs. Anyway, that's it. If you guys have any comments or any criticism, hit me up, man. I'm just glad you guys are watching. Anyway, that's my review of Cota. I give the actual race, I give the whole thing about a B-. Anyway, that's it. Until then, you know the word. Bye.